year, I spend 15,000 Ghana cedis, and then the profit that I had was 7,000 Ghana cedis. So if you see,
Wow.
so that time instead of thinking I'll be putting in 4,000 to get something out of it, I end up spending about 7,000. So when we harvested and then we market, I could see that I lost big time. So that's the risk that I took. So when I lost, I asked myself, so is that the end of it? For me, it's the best way to go, because me, when you give me money to go and sell cars, I will not do it. I rather put it into the farming than to.
Wow. Thank you for joining me. I have Mr. John Boydie here, who is a farmer. Are you a full-time farmer?
No, it's part-time.
Part-time, okay. What else do you do?
I'm an electrical technician, and I work with the electricity company of Ghana.
Wow, wow. And you're into farming. Yeah. Somebody will ask why farming, because farming in Ghana, some people see it as a low-class kind of job, and some people think it's a high-risk job. Why did you go into farming?
Okay, I would say truly it's a high-risk business that you have to venture into, and farming is not the only high risk business that we have to go into. You can go into car business, or you have a warehouse that you store cars that you sell, and then maybe one day morning when you wake up and everything is gone, maybe through fire outbreak or something, or flood or whatever, you have lost big time. So the same thing applies to farming. But the farming side, I would say it's a daily something that everybody have to consume something before it goes to bed. So with that means the demand is very high. I can decide not to drive for the whole year, nothing will happen to me. But I will board a taxi or a trotro and go to wherever I want to go. But I can't decide not to eat for the whole day or the whole year. Definitely you have to eat. So with this, I think when you put in money into farming, financially you'll be stable, and then in the house or wherever you find yourself, because kitchen you have to the kids are there, the family have to eat and all that. So when you want to base on only your profession, let's say as an electrical technician, I'm working for a company, the month will end before they'll pay you, and they determine what to pay you. But with the farming, when you have your profit, you decide how you use your money, and even with that, you employ people to pay them so that they also benefit from what you are doing. So definitely the risk is there, but we have to take the risk. That's why the word risk is there. So if you don't take it, you don't know what. When you look at the developed countries, the big men or the millionaires that we are seeing and we called on their name, most of them are into farming, and they are making it big time. So I think when we also start with farming, at least it will give us more.
So the conversation is just starting. How long have you been in the farming business?
Okay, I would say this is my 5th year.
This is your 5th year?
Yes.
In the beginning, how was it? How tough or smooth was it?
Seriously, you see, the whole thing started from a friend. I would say a colleague friend that came to do attachment with that. It's called Jude. So he introduced me that, Brother John, can't you go into farming? I'm into vegetable farming, so it's good. So you have to. So I asked him, how much do you think when I put in there, it will yield the necessary profit that I wanted? So as at that time, when we put in, let's say, 4,000 into it, and then we have a good market, the crop did well, you can have at least maybe 40-50% of your money back, plus the investment that you did. So I said, okay, fine, then let's start. So we went around and then we looked for a land that we have to rent, and we'll be paying yearly for it. So and I look at it that, okay, if it is vegetable farming, let's say with the onion, within roughly 4 to 5 months, it's ready. And then you can do another one. Okay, so we put in the money. We started gradually. So when it comes to the harvesting time, things did not go well at all. So that time, instead of thinking I'll be putting in 4,000 to get something out of it, I end up spending about 7,000. So when we harvested and then we market, I could see that I lost big time. So that's the risk that I took. So when I lost, I asked myself, so is that the end of it? Putting in 7,000 and then getting a result of, let's say, that time it was 2,000. So that means my money is gone.
Your money is gone.
But they told me that, oh, that's how it is. So I have to go on. So,
So looking back, what do you think are the factors that caused the loss?
okay, with that time, I'll say the rain pattern too worried us. And then where we are taking our water source from is not reliable.
Okay.
And then at times when the water comes and it delays for some time, it becomes salty.
Okay.
And the crops don't need salty water to, do well. And then when it's approaching harvesting and it rains heavily, it affects the crop. So I think those are some of the factors that
Disturbed you.
disturb
You've put things in place.
Yes, we did. Because I would say we have two sources of water here. One from the irrigation dam, and then one is close by the roadside here that passes from the canal where they do the rice farm.
Okay.
It passes through that bridge. So that's where we put our machine to pump the water. So when we try to do the second phase, which is the next year that we want to go into it, we have to go in for this PVC pipes.
Okay.
About, let's say, 800 meters to the dam. So we laid it all the way from that side to
You didn't give up.
No.
You didn't, so what gave you that motivation to go again? Because for some people, if they should try, and this is the story that goes around that deters people from going into farming. Maybe someone tries the first time and then there's an issue, then they just stop. Some of the comments, when you read them on my, like, you'll be surprised when somebody says, "Oh, I made this amount of money on this farm." You come and see, "Oh, it's a lie," or "It can't be possible."
Yeah, it's true. So I'll put it this way. The person that introduced to me, he also started, ran at a loss at a point, but I did not stop.
Oh, okay.
So I said, if somebody who is not a permanent staff introduced me to this, and he's still in, and he did not stop, then why should I stop? Because I know at least every month I'll get something from the company. But if I stop there, then that means there's no other source of income.
Okay.
And now the economic pictures here now is very high, so we have to put in some effort at least to get something aside, so that you can be a bit financially stable.
Yeah. So as an investor, what are some of the challenges that you faced on the farm?
Okay, I would say money.
Okay.
Money, because money does most of the things. Yeah, because when you get the guys that are committed, reliable, and you don't have the resources, but with the money you can get the resources that we need. Now that we are even crying that we have to get more hose and then more water pipes and then the pumping machines. But the one that we are using is something small. So we are not using it alone. We have to share with other farmers aside. So with the timing, maybe you might be ready to do your watering and somebody also wants to do watering, then you have to relax for somebody to finish and all that. So when we have money, I think getting all those things in place, I don't think we'll have much problems.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about money. How many acres are you working on now?
It's two.
It's 2.
It's a bit past 2, but I normally do it 2.
Okay. And so far, how is it going? In the period of 5 years, how are things? Do you think it's looking up?
No, it's good, because if I were to be losing all the time every year for 5 years, I would have stopped.
Okay.
Because as I got the guys and we did the onion, even they also inspired by asking me to go into the green pepper and other vegetables. So we started. So with this, when we finish, we'll be doing another crop, which will maybe early next year, say January, February, we'll be harvesting.
Okay.
So I think it's going on well. Yeah.
How are you able to manage your people? How did you get them in the first place, and how are you able to manage them? Because I see you have a very good relationship with them.
Yeah. getting them was not difficult because the guy that introduced me, he is from the north.
Okay.
So when we started, they were helping before. It got to a point I see that the workload on them was too much. So he introduced me that have some guys around that they are also. But you see, they were working for other farmers.
Okay.
But the way they were handling them, that makes them not to continue with them.
Okay.
So when they came to my field, I asked them what are their challenges. So most of the problem they have is accommodation.
Okay.
Now so okay, if it is accommodation, then I will take care of that one for them. Then we did that. Then as and when they demand for something that you think is tangible for them to demand for, I also find means and ways to get it for them. Because if somebody is working for you and the person needs certain things to, keep him going, health wise, foodstuffs and other things, you can't say you don't have money for them. So if you do that, they might work for you, but at the end of it, you will run at a loss. Why am I saying so? They also do the work anyhow they want. And even if the crop grow well, what they do is that they can pass through your back because you are not here always. You can sell what they want to sell and then leave the rest for you. And you can't challenge them. So that's the main thing. They are committed already. So what you have to do to maintain their commitment and then the trust is to also make sure that they are having a living that they are comfortable. Yes, they are comfortable, and then I think that's the main thing.
I know here you use Maravi. Your Martin told me you use Maravi, but do you have any hybrid that you use? Have you tried any hybrid?
No, not as now. As at now, we did not start.
Okay, that was what.
But we are still consulting people to see because now the weather here is different from. At times the seed will come, you nest it. By the time you feel it's okay for you to transplant, then they are all gone.
Wow.
So at times we also look at it, the thing that's sweet, and then we go for that.
Okay. So you talked about challenges for someone who doesn't have a salary work. Are there opportunities? Have you tried to check if there are opportunities for people? Maybe the government is providing an opportunity to help finance some young upcoming farmers or some organization. Have you tried something like that?
Not as of now, no. But let's say mid this year, we had an information that the government sent some people around to pick the the number of acres we have around, the type of food crops that we have, so that they'll sponsor us with some fertilizers. But we are still waiting. I don't know when it will come.
So what would you say to any new farmer or any young farmer or any investor who is looking to invest in farming here in Ghana or Africa, anywhere? What advice will you give them?
What I would say is that farming is a good thing. Even in the farm here, this is the bigger side of it. When we go to various homes and we have home gardens and all that, and those ones who are even yielding much results because we depend on food to live. So at least when you put in something small, it's about the starting. So when you start, when people see that you are putting much effort, when you get close to somebody and he sees the outcome of what you are doing with the little you have, I don't think the person will go back on it, because if you see somebody making money out of the little and he needs your support, I don't think you will go back on that person. Definitely so. And me, since I started, I would say I do not go for any bank loan as at now. So at times I have to squeeze myself and I say, okay, this month, this is what I want to do. So instead of me to consume maybe 60% of my salary, I'll end up consuming maybe 40%. Then I'll use the 60% to invest in the farm. So that's how it goes, because within 4 months, whatever I put in, I'll get a profit, which I will use to do other things. So that's keeping it. So I will tell the young guys out there that they shouldn't be afraid of farming. Farming is the best way to go, because me, when you give me money to go and sell cars, I will not do it. I rather put it into the farming than
wow, that's a bold statement. Okay, but where are we looking at? Where are we seeing John Boydie farms in the next 5, 10 years in the future? Do you have plans of expanding?
Yes, I have a plan that I have to, because now that I'm renting this place, a day will come, the landowner can come and say, "Oh, I'm coming to develop the land." So I'm also I'm putting things together, looking for a place that will be a bit larger, let's say 5 acres, 6 acres, that will belong to me myself. Then I know that I have control over it. Then I'll continue from there. So that's what I'm looking at.
So the onions, is it just the onions that you've done so far? Or you've done
So
some
far, I
other
did some more, how do you call it? Tomatoes.
tomatoes?
But when we did the onion, the seedling were not too good, so we couldn't cover the 2 acres. So the portion that is left, we put in some small tomatoes.
Okay.
So
So would you say onion farming is profitable?
it's very profitable. It's very profitable.
Can you share your highest profit you've made? I just want to inspire someone out there.
Yeah.
Highest
Okay. I'll
profit
say,
you've
let's
made
say last year,
last year.
I spent 15,000 Ghana cedis, and then the profit that I had was 7,000 Ghana cedis. So if you see,
Wow.
it's
So in
massive.
a period of
In a period of 4 months,
so you had your 15,000 back
and then
made
had extra 7,000.
7,000.
And then out of that one, even we give some of the crops to people, we donate some, and then out of that, you pay the guys, you give them some to make them. I mean,
Yeah. Out of the 7,000.
yes.
If you have any words you want to share with us before we wrap up.
I would say we're exhausted every day, but I will encourage my guys to go into farming, not necessarily vegetable farming, but you can go into fish farming, other aspect of farming, doing other things. But most at times now, when you go to a house, when you have a space in your house, especially with the fish farming, getting the pond, that's the only thing, and then the shade for that's it. You are good to go.
Yeah.
So I will encourage my young guys to also venture into farming. Then they'll come and thank me for it.
All right. Sure. Have a blessed day, and make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and share. Let people watch the video and be inspired.